Hello and welcome to Thursday's Zoom. I have a couple of announcements. I know that I have duplicated on day 4 and 5 the upload your resume assignment. Just upload it again, guys. It's a free assignment. If you already made it for day 4, you can put it up there on day 5 too. So just call it Miss Marcia Brain and move on with life. I was probably on 15 million phone calls and trying to get that started too. So there you go. So we've talked about NCCT a lot, right? That's your certification exam after you're done with class. But there's actually two. There's a medical office assistant certification also. Starting next Tuesday at 2 o'clock, I'm going to be doing MOA NCCT prep. So there will be a new link and it's all going to be in your gray tab under MOA. And that's where your link will be for every week. It's the same link, but it's different than our regular class one. And because we're having all classes are going to be joining us. And it will have the recordings also there. Now, again, if you can't come, you're going to have the benefit of the recording. So I don't want you guys to get stressed out because, oh my goodness, there's another Zoom. I would love for you to come and be a part of all the other students, or you can listen to the recording. So that is all of my announcements. So who is loving being out of sim charting?
I mean, I liked it at first, and then I was like, I'm done.
Yes, yes. How about you, Chase? Are you glad we're out of Sims?
Most certainly.
Yeah, I turned in grades finally yesterday. I was like, I don't have to see that for 8 more months. I'm glad we're finished. Glad we're done. But I know that we started at the very back of our textbook in the Ken's manual this time, which is strange, I know. But you know, this is going to be quick. It's the module will end on Monday, and then we'll be moving into module 151, which is the very same book, but we go to the beginning. Okay, I want to remind everybody, my workbook is weird. Like my workbook is like 2,500 pages. Y'all's goes to what, 496, I think somebody said. I'm doing the best I can. At this point, I've just been copying and pasting the exercises and putting them into the lessons for that, because to be calling and saying, okay, what is this page for? It's just too much for me. So copying and pasting it and putting it in there works better. And so be expected, you'll be expecting to see that your workbook is copied and pasted into your assignment already. So you don't have to go to another book. So, and I don't have to know what page it is because I'm putting it in there. So there is that. So I am going to go ahead and share my video, share my screen to show you guys the lecture. It is a little lecture because at 4:30 today, we're having a guest speaker. I put the Zoom link in news and announcements. If you can make it, I would love for you to. If you cannot, it will be recorded and I will put it up. So didn't find out the information until 3:30 yesterday, so that's why there isn't a huge notice. You know, usually I let you guys know on the week at a glance, but just got it yesterday. So there we go. And it's going to be our career services people is who it's going to be. All right, so let me share my screen. Can y'all see?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, skills and strategies, chapter 22. Okay, assessing your strengths and skills. So talking about your personality traits, you need to make a list of qualities that you believe you possess. And then technical skills are abilities needed to perform the job, and you may need to provide supporting documentation. That just means if you have a certification or you took a little course in Microsoft 365 or Excel or whatever, you can add that to your resume. What are transferable skills? Transferable skills can be taken from one job to another. Make a list of your past jobs, military experience, and volunteer opportunities, and then make a list of potential transferable skills from each. I love this one. It's developing career objectives. Where am I today? What areas and skills do I enjoy in practicum? Where do I want to be in 5 years? Where do I want to be in 10 years? What additional skills do I need to get where I want to go? So that's what you guys are doing right now. You're learning skills that you need to get where you want to go, which is a great career. So I decided to talk about this because I don't know about y'all, but most of the time, not right now, but way back when, I never looked at minimum salary or hourly to meet my personal needs, because my personal needs was to get a job and get some money. I wasn't in a position to say, "Oh, I'm sorry, it has to be $45,000 a year, or I can't do it." That, or it has to whatever. I've worked really long and hard to get to a spot to where if I wanted to move companies, and I'm not going anywhere, then I would be able to go in and say, I need X amount of dollars before I can work for your company. I need X amount of benefits before I would even think about moving. So you may not be there at first, but guys, you will get there. Intrinsic needs important to you personally. Evaluating your personal needs will help you find a job that matches your requirements. So, one of my needs would be, it would have to be local. I don't want to commute to Lafayette. So if I put in for a job and it was required for me to work in Lafayette, that wouldn't meet my needs, right? If I had to work in a building where there was no air conditioning, that does not meet my needs. I wouldn't be doing that. So I know that it's hard to think about in that way because, some of you may be saying, goodness, I just need a job. What about my needs? You have to weigh that out. If your needs to have a job and a steady income comes before anything else, then it is meeting your needs. So we're going to have an open discussion, and we're going to talk about this. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? Okay, I'll go first. I am a big person, and if you cannot acknowledge what you don't accept about yourself, and so I'm my own worst critic, right? I don't know about you guys. I'm more critical on myself than anybody else in this world is. But one of my weaknesses is I overthink. I tell y'all not to overthink it all the time. I might tell you that, but do I live that? Not always, no. I can be negative. Believe it or not, I can be negative. I think we all can, but sometimes that negativity can really get to me. Those are two of my weaknesses, which I know there are more. I don't like to clean house anymore. That would be a weakness. I'm sick of cleaning house. But what are my strengths? I'm organized. I'm on time and I'm ready to shine. I would say I pay attention to detail, but it would not be true since you had the same assignment twice. So we're going to skip that one. I have the ability to concentrate for long periods of time. So those are my strengths and weaknesses. Okay, Cheyenne, we'll let you go first.
Oh man. Let's see. I'm a fast typer. I was actually just doing a application and you had to type and I was at 90 words a minute. So let's go.
I'm not going to tell you how slow I type. Click, 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 click.
I'm patient and I'm very well with constructive criticism. I tend to take that and use it to my advantage. I'm hard-headed. That's one of my weaknesses.
Yeah, okay.
That's a weakness. I'm hard-headed, very hard-headed. I don't if I know or I think I'm right, that I'm right. Like that's it. Um I'm trying to think of another weakness. I mean, I'm not perfect, but I don't know. Sometimes I can have a negative attitude. That's a weakness for
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, not all the time, but sometimes I find myself,
Yeah.
I'm like, who are you? Why are you being so negative about it?
Yeah, it
Glass
scares
is
me.
definitely half empty over here.
Yeah.
All right, Melinda, you want to go next?
Okay. Well, one of my weaknesses is I am very soft spoken.
Oh.
Uh, I'm kind of shy. I read the room until I feel like I can start to talk. But for the most part, I'm shy. I hate that when I'm nervous, I develop a speech impediment. Um, I'm nice for the most part until you start to pinch at my nerves more than once about the same thing. But I'm very patient. I'm friendly for the most part. I don't like to hang in crowds. I stay to myself. Crowds is troublesome, but I'm very level-headed. Um, I do pay attention to detail. I like detail.
She's my girl, y'all. If there's something, she's texting me. I'm like, okay, let me go get it. I don't know. Sometimes y'all wouldn't know what y'all was getting if Melinda wouldn't have called or texted me and said, Miss Marsha, go look at blah 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 blah. And I go look at it and say, oh my goodness, what's going on there? And I just fix it. She keeps me accountable.
Um, that's about it.
Well, I want to ask a question. Why do you think being shy and reading the room before you open up is a weakness?
Um, I've I've been in situations where a lot of people will take advantage of the quietness. Um, they tend to kind of slither. I call it slithering because they try to kind of size you up a little bit to see what you're about, to see if you are going to say anything or open your mouth. And I'm not quick to do that, but at a certain point, I will. And if I do, then that's not a good thing.
Yeah. Well, I want to tell you, I think that being silent or quiet and reading the room is actually very wise. Very wise. And what other people's opinions are of you is none of your business. It's your opinion of yourself. You know who you are. Don't let those people make you come out of your peaceful character and speak down like that because you're wise. You're wise enough to know they're poking at me and I know who I am. I don't have to prove who I am to them. I don't think that that's a weakness at all, sweetheart. Maybe the result of them picking on you may be a weakness, but you actually being quiet and reading the room and making a judgment whether that's a safe place for you or not, that is very wise. I want you to think about that. And I also want you to think about their opinion of you is their own business. Don't bring that to me. If you like me, come on, we can talk. If you don't, nobody says that you have to be here. And you can be kind and professional about any of that. Okay. All right. You think I'm ugly? I think you're ugly too. You wouldn't say that, but in your head, you know what I mean? Because that's just the truth. You're not going to be able to please everybody or make everybody on your side. And guess what? That's confidence in you going, okay, well, you don't want to know me. That is your loss. So I just want you to think about that. Think about that may seem like a weakness, but I think it's wise and I think it's brave. The friendliest person in the room is not always the one who's most confident. I know because I'm usually the friendliest in the room and I'm not necessarily the most confident. Nobody would know that because this bubbly friendly is a defense mechanism. And sometimes I get on my own nerves with it. I'm like, girl, come on. My real Marsha's talking to my be bubbly and friendly and, Marsha. So, all right, Chase, I am excited to hear how you think you could possibly have a weakness.
Oh, I have all of them. Anything you can think of, I have it. It's a weakness. It's me.
No way.
I tend to overthink things far beyond when they're finished. I will just work it over in my mind over and over and over and over and over and over and over again. And I don't really have a way to stop it. I think about it and like a month later, it's like, hey, I'm thinking about the same thing again. One of my strengths is probably my patience. I deal with a lot of older customers here at Best Buy, so I've worked on my patience. I'm very good at figuring out problems and fixing them. So I guess that's why I just think about things over and over again because I want to try to fix it, even though if it doesn't need fixing. I don't really dwell on my strengths or weaknesses too much because they kind of overwhelm. So I really can't bring them up to think about right now.
Okay, that's all right.
Yeah.
But look, this is a time and a safe space while you're with me in class and in this course to start thinking about some of those weaknesses that may affect your career and start pulling those out one at a time and dealing with those. Now, there's no magic that says, oh, you're not going to have that problem anymore. But what you have to do is learn how to manage the problem.
Yeah.
We always called them vain imaginings, where in your head you're coming up with this, oh my goodness, I said this and everybody thinks I'm stupid. I know they do, blah, blah. When the truth is, nobody ever thought twice about that. You're the one having those vain imaginings. I'm not that important for somebody to be thinking about what I said 10 minutes into a meeting 3 days later. You know what I mean? It's those are vain imaginings. And they are really difficult, but I got better when I was able to put a name to what I was doing, because I was able to put, like if that scenario came up in my head about something I said or something I did or what I wore or something, I can put that in my head and say, vain imaginings, Marsha, do you really want to spend your energy here? And it took a little while for me to practice that. And sometimes I catch myself and I have to practice it again. So maybe that'll help you. I don't know. But I just want you to know that we're here for you, or I'm here for you if you want to talk things out. I'm here for all of you guys. Listen,
Sure.
I might cry with you and treat you like my kid or my baby. I'm not a counselor in any way, but I will listen and help and encourage because I think you guys are great. Really do. Don't have to say it, not paid to. Not on my job description. I do. I think you're great. There's so many of my students that are wonderful, but they don't believe they're wonderful. I'm trying to convince you. But anyway, well, that is really all I have today. Is there anything that you guys want to talk about, or any questions or comments, or?
Is there any way we can see our final grade for the last section we just did? Because when I went to go look, it's gone, and I know that was not my final grade. There was no way.
Yes. If I can get out of. Oh, I forgot to turn my phone off. Here, let me.